So today I had a free day off and I decided to call the guys here at Reidys, Home of Music, and ask them if I could come around, try a couple of their guitars and film it. They were kind enough to let me. They have an amazing selection of guitars here, and from Fender's Chord, which is a really cool brand, Epiphone, Ibanez, basses, loads of cool basses, amps. There's a really cool Marshall Studio 20 there, and a cool selection of Taylors and whatnot, and all the normal music stuff, microphones, drum instruments. So in the Northwest there's not many shops actually. I always struggle to find anything decent, and this one here in Blackburn is really cool because it's not, there is some in Manchester, but the parking is a bit tricky. Here you have the park in front of the shop that makes it way easier to access, and you can come during the day and whatnot. But my deal is, so I have that Telecaster that I'm going to show you in a minute, the made in Japan one that I got recently, and I have the Les Paul type and the semi-hollow, but I'm missing the Strat. I don't need a Strat. I could possibly, what I'll need to do is wait until I find the one, but the Strat is such a simple instrument, really, in design, of solid body, bolt-on neck, maple neck, a scratch plate that is loaded from the front, the input jack that is here. Does it really need to be an expensive guitar? And this entry level, although I think they're perfectly giggable guitars, have become such a long way that I thought, let me bother them and ask them about these Squier Classic Vibes that I've heard a lot about, but I don't think I've actually played one, which is a bit insane. So I'm here plugged into a Marshall GCM 800 combo, which has no reverb, but you don't need reverb, you're in a shop. And just to see how it sounds. So on the neck pickup, it sounds like it's supposed, right? Strat sound, and then the neck and middle. And the thing is, this guitar literally just came out of the box, so it's a bit trickier to play, still getting used to what's happening around it. True Strat has plenty of adjustment left. Everything could be adjusted in due time, but it just literally came out of the box, so it's kind of expected. The neck feels really comfortable, and it has a vintage style tuning machine heads that I quite like because you put them through the front. You can cut them right to the length that you want, put them in here, wrap them around, pull them, and then you can just tune them easily. The middle pickup, I always like to do this every Clapton song. Obviously, it will depend from rig to rig. I play with a Helix, so I have a buttload of effects and whatnot, so it will sound different. And here you just really to try to see, okay, would this work for me? But that's why I brought the Telecaster to give it a go next. So bridge and middle would be the. Bridge pickup that is not often used, right? But this is the standard. You know, you want a Strat, you want a good Strat with the full dimensions from Squier or from an entry-level brand. And by entry-level, I mean a brand that is a sub-brand or that has a higher line. For example, Yamaha has Japanese guitars, or Fender has the American line, or Ibanez, again, the Japanese ones. So this is a standard. So let's have a look to see what else is there. What is often said as well about the classic vibes, just getting back to it, is that it's a numbers game. They produce a lot of guitars, some will be better than others. And, you know, I stupidly ask to try that red guitar, because it's a red guitar, it looks awesome with the candy apple red. But they already had a couple of classic vibes out here, one of them being this black one. Now, I'm gonna be very honest, I was never really big into black guitars. It's very sort of plain looking, but the more that you look at guitar heroes that use black guitars, it more enticing it becomes. And it has the maple neck, so something a little bit different. Let's give it a go to see how does it sound. Middle. And then. Okay, and bridge. Okay, so this is very wrong to play on this sort of guitar. I don't know, I never know how to play it on these videos whenever I'm spot. For example, no. That's just something. Ah, so the second tone knob actually controls the bridge pickup, which is a great feature. So let's see if you lower the master, okay, and increase the leads. Go. Why would you get the Strat to play Foo Fighters? I don't know, but... Now, I don't know if this is because it's a maple neck or it is because it was already an alt guitar. I really enjoy this neck, it's really nice. So maybe the best competition to a classic vibe is another classic vibe. Let's try something a bit cleaner. Awesome. So this is the Pacifica 112 VM. As you can see on my channel, I've had one of these, never in this lovely color. This duck egg, like I saw someone put it up for a sale. Rosewood board, you know, it's getting rarer and rarer. And I think, you know, this is a really cool guitar because it has the HSS, it has the split coils here, it has a flatter board, so it's something a little bit different, but you can still get the Strat sound. Let's see if that's true. So on the neck pickup here, it's a bit bright. These pickups have always been bright, so let's put the tone a bit down. one to play so far. I don't know why. You know, it's not vintage though. It's not vintage looking. You don't look at it and think, ah, this is a Strat. I have a Strat. It's a Strat-shaped guitar, but it's not a Strat, which is, for some people, like if you want to look at the collection, like I have that problem, I want to look at it and it's like, I have a Strat now, and a Tele. This is not a Strat, but it plays well. It plays well. It plays really well. Again. You can, you know, there's nothing to be said here. You can clearly hear the difference between the bridge pickup of a Strat and the proper humbucker. And the humbucker makes it so versatile. I sometimes think, oh, I want the Strat to have 3 single coils because of the look and the history and everything. But the fact is, you put it on that position, it loses clarity, but the compression and the punch really is there. So, an Ibanez AZ Essential, AZ Essential. This is the new kid in town, right? The different a release from Ibanez, I think last year, I don't know, the last couple of years, become a blur. Really nice color. Again, I do have a preference for blue guitars. This one is the HSS with the tremolo bit here, or the vibrato arm, as it's properly said, really. It has a switch here that does something, you can check online. So, but let's see how it sounds, you know, with my amazing playing. Not. Again, the fingerboard is flatter than the classic vibe. It's more on terms with the Pacifica, but the back of the neck is rounder. The edges are not rolled. It don't seem to be that way. The pickups are not as bright, not as shrill. I think they are slightly warmer, but let's see here. Has a really nice snap. The body is tiny, and again, it's not a Strat. So you look at it, it's not a Strat, but really cool package. The middle, again, I don't know if I'm doing anything with this switch there. That's that part. Right there. Let's see the bridge pickup. Definitely a barky bridge. Switch again. It is doing something. so it's quieter, this one, on the neck pickup. Another bridge. What's the conclusion from these three guitars? The classic vibe, the two classic vibes that I played, the Yamaha Pacifica and the Ibanez AZES Essential. Is, if you want a Strat, this is the only real option. It's the only that is actually a Strat. So, and anything can be changed, right? It has a good neck, it has a great collar, it has all the appropriate dimensions. So you can buy this, be happy with it. The pickups are not my preference personally through this amp. Maybe for the Helix or for a different amp it will be a different story, or if I was playing a different style of music. But you know, easily replaceable in the long term. What I would do, most likely, if I bought this guitar, was to take this pick guard, save it, buy loaded pick guards with, I don't know, bare knuckle or radio shop or a Fender one, put it in here if I prefer that, and then when time comes along to sell this, if I no longer want it, pull the old pick guard here with everything in it, sell it along, keep the other loaded pick guard that I bought, either sell that or put that on the next Strat or whatever it is that I want to do with it. It's, you know, each guitar is different, so there are sometimes little imperfections here or there that you might see on one that is not on the other, even Indian Laurel to Maple, but that will be that. The Pacifica is the definition of a gigging guitar. It's bright, so it will cut through the band mix. It's easy to play, it's a flat fingerboard, it's easy to change pickups and know where you're at. It has a great humbucker sound, really punchy and throaty, and it has a selection of colors from these to black to sunburst. There's a bunch of them, and they can be bought new from a shop that you have some assurances, or sometimes used they might show up as well in the condition. The AZES, I don't know who is it truly for, because although I do prefer the sound of these pickups over anyone else, it's not really a Strat, and with this switch here, I'm struggling to find exactly what it does it do. If we ignore the switch, again, great gigging guitar, 5-way position. I haven't tested this block, it's a thin one, but you know, it's really ergonomic. The body is really light, maybe not even neck heavy. It has the gloss headstock with the satin back. The tuners seem to work well. All the shapes, it's slightly smaller, so if you're a smaller person or a woman or a girl, like I have a daughter, maybe this in a different color. I don't know, she likes blue. She's told me many times that she doesn't like blue. And there's the other colors. There's a cream one right there with a hardtail. So again, great sound, a lot of versatility. It is not a Strat, but if you're not beholden by shapes and brands, once again, this is a great guitar that can take you from your bedroom to whatever stage you want. And that's the beauty of affordable guitars these days, is that they're so good. But now, would it replace or would it live along my other guitars, the Eastman and the Fender MIJ JV? Possibly not. That's why I want to try the JV. Let's see if they let me try that one. These made in Japan Fenders are really awesome. So same as my Stratocaster. This is a more recent production. It's a bit of a confusing guitar because they call it a JV modified 50s. All right, 1099. I don't know. Look, the specs here confuse me. I think it has locking vintage style tuners. It has maple neck, obviously, two-tone sunburst, HSS with a split coil, and a 5-way switch, obviously. It feels really good, it sounds really good, and it doesn't disappoint. Let's hear it. Let's try it. See if... If you want a Strat, you have those options. If you want something better, so you don't go through the modding, if you don't want to worry about modding or upgrading or thinking, well, in the future, if I get better, if I have a different gig, this is a forever guitar. In my opinion, this is a forever guitar. You could buy this, be happy, go home, and don't have to worry about upgrades or mods or anything of that sort. And that's an advantage of paying. It is 3 times the cost of the other ones, but you know, sometimes these things hold value, sometimes they lose value, sometimes they gain value, but at least you know that you bought a really good instrument that was made with a lot of care from a shop that is local, and we need to support local economies and whatnot. And I could only experience this because this shop exists here, relatively close to me. So thank you very much, Reidys. Thank you very much for everything that have allowed me to do, and I'll see you next time.